Okay, welcome back to the URA finale number 4. We are going to see some exciting races today. We do have like a bunch of 15 or so races to provide to you between two really strong horses in the names of Toxic Scent and Marcinho. So the stats are not exactly clear. Like Toxic Scent is definitely ranked higher than Marcinho. But they do have like very different playstyles. Like Toxic Scent is kind of a late surger, and Marcinho is more of a front runner, pace chaser. Kind of depends on the races. But today we will be casting those races together. Me, Paturage, and my clone Adam Ackerville. What's up?
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the URA semifinals. So, like Patu said, we will be having a few more races during this semifinals on the URA. It's very exciting. We have Toxic Scent, late Sergio. We don't know what he's gonna go with, and sometimes he goes with End Closer to finish it all up, you know. And Marcinho, he just wanna finish everything fast. He's a front runner, you know, front running, pace chasing. He wants to finish everything fast.
Yeah, like for some reason, all of the races in this pool are wait, what are LNs? I want to say LNs are dirt, but no,
okay. Coordination. Let's say coordination. No, coordination is
no.
sprint tracks. Technical picks is mile. Wildcard is medium track, and for the density track, we will be having long running.
Yeah, that makes sense. But I feel like turf is rice and dirt is like LNs or something.
You know what? Makes sense. You know what? Let's go with dirt running with the aptitude, shall we?
Yeah, this is a dirt cup, and for some reason,
Yeah.
both of the players are not exactly like dirt runners. They're kind of hybrids in their own way.
Yeah,
Toxic
both of
Scent
them runs
maybe,
both turf and dirt run actually.
Yeah, Toxic Scent is a solid S on the turf aspect of things, but also knows how to play dirt. Maybe B or A, depending on the sparks.
Yeah, we'll see what their aptitude spark is. Is it gonna be B rank, A rank, or S rank starting off with the first track of the day?
Yeah, it's a little bit of a hybrid here. I've never seen this before in LeMarcinho, really. Okay,
Yeah, man,
it's a bit dirty here, yeah.
Yeah, this is a different Uma Musume from what we know, but you know, a race is a race. We can't complain. Both of us is the commentator for the URA after all.
Yeah, the prestigious URA that many players have competed on. And yeah, I dare say like Toxic Scent not necessarily in a great mood, perhaps in a bad mood. From what we saw in the Discord, Marcinho, great mood, however.
Yeah, perhaps Toxic Scent actually muck up a little bit at the beginning. Actually, maybe because he was starting off late during the track. Who knows? Well, Marcinho is, you know, pulling off ahead. Ooh, Toxic Scent got rushed right there by Marcinho with a debuff.
It's so stupid, bro. I mean, yeah, I mean, this is the warm up. We're having warm ups for showcases, and I've never seen warm ups in the movies, and it's like training races.
Yeah, man. I think they're training their guts right now to finish off every single map that they're gonna be playing.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder like what kind of comparisons we can come up with. Like Marcinho is like very, very consistent. Must have gotten some skills here and there. But
Yeah,
like,
they
which
have-
skills? That's the question.
Yeah, it seems like Marcinho has sufficient guts and wit stats as of now, still holding on to the comfortable full combo, halfway finished with the race. This is a long track we're seeing.
Yeah, honestly, Oh, that's oh no, yeah, that's a simultaneous trip up from both of the horses.
Yeah, Toxic Sen used Frenzied front runner while LeMarcinho countered with Frenzied late surger or whatever the debuff is. Ooh, Toxic Sen getting a little bit more rushed. Using Sharp Glaze on Marcinho, missing again.
Yeah, like see, that's the exact dynamic of front runner versus late surger. Like Marcinho did have a good stride, a good combo going on up until this point, but it got overtaken by Toxicen in the end. Toxicen just activated, I don't know, straightforward spurt.
Yeah, both players is activating Swinging Maestro at the moment alongside Professor of Curvature to finish the map. Oh, home stretch haste is coming in.
Yeah, no, like both of the horses do lack a bit of stamina in this map in particular. Like this map is fairly like this race is a little bit long for both of the horses, so it's a bit longer also, like a lot more physical than some of the races in the pool.
Judging from how they're running this track, I'm suggesting that the stamina point may be around 400 to 500 range. Usually you need about 600 to 700 to finish these kinds of track with comfort ease, but judging from it, it seems like it's about around 500 stamina with Swing Maestro only as the stamina recovery skill.
Yeah, honestly, like their stats are looking pretty different from one another, but like the results are fairly similar in the end. So it might be very interesting to see what goes in like real conditions.
Yeah, especially since we are running on the dirt track, and both players are more or less into the turf tracks. So judging from the aptitude, whether they had good parenting or not, it's either gonna be a B in terms of aptitude or maybe an A.
Yeah, like the only advantage the Toxic Scent has over Marcinho is like an S on turf, and that might be pivotal for like the density or the wildcard races.
Yeah, however, since we are, running on dirt tracks, it's very rare for us to see anything regardless of close to turf tracks. So, yeah, like you said, the closest to how a turf running horse is density, but we don't know what the aptitude for Toxic Sen on that will be, while Marcinho's should be on the A or B side in terms of the aptitude that they're gonna run.
Yeah, I do feel like both of the horses are gonna run on B on that. It's all gonna be depending on the distances that they're gonna pick. Like especially the sprint one is gonna be fairly interesting. Like the coordination one, especially like the very shortest race.
Shortest, but you have to be flexible on the sprinter tracks, like we see in Uma Musume and Osumania. It seems like Toxic Sen got Osumusume. It seems like Toxic Sen got unfortunately rushed at the very beginning by Marcinho's Frenzied late surger, activating at the beginning, going into the second half of the corner, activating both Professor of Curvature and Swing Maestro yet again.
Yeah, honestly, like the curves of this race in particular are pretty. I want to say pretty turfy. I do not have a very convincing translation for Jax, really, but honestly, like Toxic Scent, like the physicality, the stamina, and also the power of Toxic Scent does come into play in this really stamina-heavy race.
Yeah, this is what you use power stats in. It seems like Toxic Scent has greater power in terms of about 700 stats, while Marcinho's definitely lacking in terms of power. Ooh, Toxic Sand is activating Duty of Dignity calls to finish the map.
Yeah, this is a pretty turfy map, and LeMarcinho is perhaps more of a B in terms of turf skills compared to Toxic
Yeah,
Sand,
man.
like S on turf. So that's definitely gonna go towards Toxic Sand here. It's like that's very valuable information for both of the horses to keep in mind as much as
Yeah.
horses can retain information. That is.
I mean, to be fair, they do have their trainers, and they will be giving feedback to both of the horses. So hopefully, Mark knows what he's gonna be choosing in terms of the third aptitude picks compared to the turf aptitude maps.
Yeah, hopefully their trainers do opt for enough recreation for both of the players. But yeah, the training do serve as some kind of recreation for both of the horses. So hopefully their mood has improved since the beginning of this session.
Yeah, but judging from the chat right now, it looks like Marcinho is currently on the bad mood, considering he is not liking the previous track that was played compared to Toxic Sand, who's currently, it seems like he's on the normal mood. So that may come into play depending on how their trainer did the recreation.
Yeah, so here we are going to enter a pretty interesting part of Uma Musume that I do not know.
Yeah, this is a little bit special, you know. We don't know this kind of Uma Musume.
Yeah, you can ban races. You can
man.
races.
Oh my god. Usually the horses run the races without the bans. You know, I don't know, man. This is just a little bit of a different Uma Musume from what I know. This is not the race.
This is the mod.
Is this not Uma Musume? Damn. But you know,
wow.
I still think it's Uma Musume Part 2. Do you think it's still Uma Musume? They are running.
Yeah, it's like a champions meeting, but it's like a new kind of champions meeting where you can protect and ban particular races depending on your horse's skills and so on. I find that very interesting because you can pretty much cater to what your horse is good at, especially if your horse is like good at several skill sets, several distances. That is. So Toxic Sand definitely going to be prioritizing the long races, and Tinnitus perhaps the longest of races and faces on the long.
Yeah, and it seems like Toxic Sand is going into the spin tracks, like how he is the front runners. He wants to finish everything fast, protecting the first spin track we have, and banning one of the longer tracks, being Density 2, Dreaming Attractive. And oh wait, hold on, this is not a spin track or a long track.
Yeah, this is a medium track.
Yeah, this is a medium track chosen from the trainer of Toxic Sand. They're going with the medium track first rather than the longer track. They want to gauge how good Marcinho's stamina is, I guess.
Yeah, it's quite interesting to see like it's not necessarily on a linear scale between like sprint to long races. Like Wildcard 4, like a medium 4 is definitely has elements of turf sprinkled in there. Like they all might be very dirt-oriented races, but the turfiness of Wildcard 4 is not to be underestimated.
Yeah, there is dirt on the track. However, there is some bumps and rigidity area that acts like turf races. So who knows? Maybe that's what Toxic Sand want, that just to feel the turfiness of the field while running through the dirt to get that momentum up.
Yeah, absolutely. Marcinho just rushing ahead right now. The Toxic Sand just not that far behind actually, and perhaps opting for a pace chaser this time instead of late surger.
Yeah, while Marcinho, like he always do, going with the front running style, we can see judging from his current distance aptitude compared to the accuracy that Toxic Sand has. Ooh, Toxic Sand is catching back up with the pace chasing though, but it's side by side.
Yeah, Toxic Sand might be looking into blocking Marcinho ahead. Like, yeah, just and this map in particular. Oh no, Marcinho is actually tripping up because of Toxic Sand's blocking, and I feel like that might be working out for Toxic Sand right now.
Yeah, Toxic Sand is blocking Marcinho's track in front, giving him the rush status effect. And we did see that Mark did slip up a little bit. Toxic Sand also used Fence-It Front Runner yet again on Marcinho.
Yeah, it's important to have those skills like to take ahead of your opponent, and like Toxic Sand does have some secret tricks they can use to get to just gap Marcinho right now. But however, like Marcinho, it's just not having it on this race in particular might be a little bit too turfy for your taste.
Maybe that, and it seems like he's not activating any of the stamina recovery skill or debuff skill. As we see, Toxic Sand is
at all.
Yeah, Toxic Sand is running even further ahead despite being a pace chaser compared to Mark's front running. It seems like it's just not Mark's aptitude, or he doesn't have enough wit stat to back it up with the debuff.
Yeah, I know. Like if you lack wit, the skills are not gonna proc, and that's just what's happening right now to Marcinho. But however, Toxic Sand does fall quite a bit here. Just has a substantial slowdown, going from 99.7 to 99.4 in terms of progress.
Yeah, it seems like he forgot to activate Swinging Maestro, but only activated Professor of Curvature, making him slip up a little bit in terms of his pace chasing.
Yeah, like remember, both of those sources are pretty stamina. Do not have enough stamina to complete most of the races in this pool. So definitely gonna be challenging for him to last until the end, and it all comes down to whether Toxic Sand is gonna fall down behind Marcinho faster than Marcinho is falling to this race.
Yeah, but it seems like Marcinho is able to slowly catch back up, but we only have a little bit of the track left. It's the final straight. Both players activating home stretch chase. Ooh, Toxic Sand got Fence-It pace chaser. Oh, is this gonna be enough for Marcinho to catch back up with his front running? It's gonna be the end of the track soon, but I don't think he has enough speed. He lacked the speed to finish it.
Oh yeah, like Marcinho finally proccing some of those skills like home stretch, home stretch,
Ace, yeah.
Ace, yeah, and yeah, just not quite enough. Didn't quite proc enough like 300s. Toxic Sand did have a better ratio in the end, which is quite surprising. But it might come down to the nature of the map itself.
Yeah,
a lot more turf than rice involved there.
Yeah, like you said, the nature of the map was a little bit evil, so Marcinho was not able to catch back up with the front running. Hey, did you see what I did there?
Wow. Of course.
Mark's trainer is finally thinking ahead and going into one of the sprint dirt track, being Ikotoba 4. I don't know what Hatsune Miku is doing on a horse racing event, but we'll just accept it. It's in Japan after all.
It's the Project Sekai X Uma Musume collab.
Oh my god, dude. I cannot believe JRA allowed this to go through as well, man. Hatsune Miku featured on a JRA race such as this is a really high honor. Not to mention, this is a G1 race after all.
Hatsune Miku is my favorite Uma Musume, bro.
I agree. She is a Uma Musume in our heart, especially now that she has been featured on the JRA race for the JRA Semifinals Grade 1 Champions Cup.
So it might be worth of note that to introduce Toxic Scent and Marcinho as our playtesters for this tournament. Kind of an RP break here, but yeah, they were contributing to the construction of the races, so to
Yep.
speak.
Let's just say they had to run this multiple tracks a few times to see if everything is to their liking. You know, we don't want to upset any of these two horses, do we?
Yeah, they were actually in the private beta of LeMarcinho somehow.
Yeah. For some reason, they got backdoored access to testing these tracks before running in the official. So, you know, they got to run these again next to each other this time. Because if I'm not wrong, they were trading solo. So no friendship training was activated.
Yeah, it's rough out there. Like you cannot have a free Citizen Black like MLB at all. Like you're on your own when you're training behind the scenes. But right now, Marcinho back on the front runner strat, and Toxic Scent just a bit behind, just running late surge. But it is a fairly purely dirty track that we're seeing right now.
Yeah, but Marcinho, I think it's also keeping with the fun-running style that he has been going with the entirety of the tracks he has ran before, having a clear distance about 2 to 3 lengths compared to Toxic Scent's late surging. It makes sense, he is late surging, so the difference in length will be pretty big.
Yeah, honestly, like this distance is very scary for Toxic Scent to glance upon. Like you don't usually get gapped that much by a front runner, but maybe the late surge strategy is gonna backfire.
Yeah, we'll see if Toxic Scent has enough wit to activate Sharp Glaze offensive front runner while activating home stretch haste at the end, or maybe their trainer taught Toxic Scent the one and only embody and mind skill, the upgraded version of home stretch haste for late surger. Who knows?
So,
already halfway done with the tracks.
Yeah, that might be interesting. It might be interesting to see also like the stamina progress of Marcinho. If Marcinho stumbles at the end, like runs out of stamina, Toxic Scent can just catch them off guard, like from the bonus stamina that they have from running late surger.
Correct, but it seems like that's probably not the case. Marcinho is able to activate Swing and Maestro against this late surger of a Toxic Scent, closing the gap between 3 to 4 lengths into the final straight. Will he hold out? Will he not get debuffed?
Yeah, just a fifth of the race left, and it doesn't look like Marcinho is running out of stamina on this short track. So this might be a good occasion for Marcinho to get a decisive point against Toxic Scent here.
Yeah, for some reason the JRA on this specific graded race is different. Instead of winning one time, you have to win multiple times to win the whole thing. I don't know, the new JRA rules, I guess, in the classics.
It's a new kind of champions meeting.
Yeah, man. It seems like the JRA has changed the rules similar to how they changed the classic to Oh Goody Cap. That you have to, for this graded race specifically, and only this one, you have to win multiple times to win the whole thing.
Yeah, like, oh my god, those results are pretty striking to say the least. If we compare like the speed of Marcinho compared to Toxic Scent, like the ratio between the two is absolutely striking, and also the 200 count, which is to say the pace.
Yeah. It seems like maybe running late surger was a bad idea, since he didn't activate Slipstream or anything, since Marcinho was a front runner, so it's really hard to activate Slipstream with him. And judging from it, he was running outside compared to inside of the track. maybe that's why he doesn't have enough speed or momentum to catch back up to Marcinho. But nonetheless, we're going to maybe one of the long track, but it seems like the trainer didn't listen and tried to choose something that was banned.
Yeah, trainers do get confused about those new rule sets and so on.
Yeah, I mean,
do
to be
understand
fair,
that,
yeah, it's a new rule to the JRA. Of course, everyone will get confused, but it seems like the trainer has changed their mind and go with another medium track, heat up the normal. Was it? Oh, no, Walcott won.
Wait,
Come on.
Toxic Sense trainer does not know what they're doing. They're clicking all the menus. They did not get the tutorial.
Man, they forgot to do the tutorial. No wonder Toxic Sand was not able to finish off the race just now. He didn't have enough guts.
Or enough wit at all. It might come down to the trainer as well. Like it might be a trainer diff. It is pretty important as a trainer to like get acquainted with the meta, because if you just build whatever, you might not perform well at the races.
Yeah, but nonetheless, Wildcard 1 is more on the medium track. However, this does feel like in terms of a dirtier track compared to Turf. So we'll see how Toxic Sense trainer choosing this map would think.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a hybrid in terms of Turf versus Dirt here.
Yep.
Probably gonna catch LeMarcinho off guard as well. Pretty stamina intensive also, so might be looking to exhaust Marcinho in the long run here, because believe it or not, like the stamina drain kind of carries a little bit from race to race.
Yeah, that's true. And for some reason on this track, there's decoration of bells. Why is there bells, Paturaj, all over this track?
I am.
I wonder why there's bells everywhere, man. And they're sometimes ringing when both horse runs over them.
I think it's almost Halloween. It's like the Halloween event, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe because of Halloween.
And both the horses are running pace chaser on this one, it seems.
Yeah, it seems like that Mark doesn't want to exhaust his stamina too fast, so he has changed his running style back to pace chasing, and Toxic Sen is matching that with his own pace chasing right, literally by a neck next to each other as we enter the first corner of the track.
Yeah, I gotta be careful about the pace chaser strategy, because like pace chaser does induce a stamina debuff implicitly. Like that might not be known of all players here. Like for example here, Marcinho did get tripped up here, did get rushed a fair amount, and that does put them behind the Toxic Scent. Be careful not to get blocked here.
Yeah, due to the rush effect, he's slightly behind off Toxic Scent now by about 1 length, but it is a gap that can be closed up if he locks in. If he activates Professor of Curvature and the much needed Swing Maestro, since he is a sprint runner, he needs all the stamina recovery skill he can get, and possibly from the parent bond, U equals MA square. If he activates both of them, he can catch back up to Toxic Scent from the rush effect that he gave him.
Yeah, just wait for Toxic Scent to get basically attracted to Marcinho like a magnet here. I think that's the effect of Slipstream going on here.
Yeah, Marcinho is activating Slipstream behind Toxic Sand and catching back up to him again now, neck to neck, side by side, running together into our second corner, almost to the last straight soon.
Yeah, they're neck and neck right now. They're looking into the last part of the race. We're not quite at the at the very last part of the race just yet. So not all of the skills are gonna proc just yet, and we are on a flat right now on a downhill, but that will trip up Marcinho.
Oh my
because
god, no!
Downhill.
He got Frenzy Pace Chaser! No!
Yeah, that's so dangerous.
He got Frenzy Pace Chaser right as we enter the first straight, as Toxic Sand is activating in body and mind to finish everything off. Can Marcinho activate his own Frenzy Pace Chaser and catch back up? I wonder if that's doable at this late of a race.
Yeah, just gonna count on Toxic and just running out of stamina at this one because Marcinho doesn't really have enough guts to make it to Toxic Sand, especially if more stamina debuffs are gonna be happening here.
Yeah, it seems like Toxic Sand. Oh, finally! Wait, is that enough time? I think he activated Frenzy Pace Chaser way too late. I don't think that's enough time to finish it. Toxic Sand's gonna be finishing the race first by a length of 3. No, that was very close.
Yeah, that was actually very close. Toxic Sand just ran out of stamina at the very last second. And it seems that the trainer trained Toxic Sand exactly like to the brink of being able to handle this map this race in particular. So like that's the perfect distance for Toxic Scent here. So that's probably why their trainer opted for Heat Up Normal here.
Yeah. But we're back to Marcinho's trainer's pick now. Maybe they're gonna go back to their comfort zone, the sprint tracks, or push their boundary a little bit and go with the mile tracks. We'll have to see. And quick mention, for some reason, this is also streamed by a Uma Musume trainer, being Absalom Ayagare. For some reason, this is streamed back at home instead of, we needing to go to the actual tracks and stream the race itself. But it seems like he's at home streaming the entire race with some figurines of Mihona Bourbon and Goshen? No wonder that's Late Surger. No wonder why Toxic Sand is running Late Surger / Encloser, because he has Gold Shift, and Mihona Bourbon is a front runner like Marcinho, yo. It may be coming in.
Yeah, I do feel like Enclosers are not very popular in this setting. I feel like Enclosers do get eliminated pretty early on because like due to the nature of the tracks, that they're very volatile. So Enclosers don't always get the occasion to catch up to the front runners who like gap them several distances over.
Yeah, unless they have 1200 speed stats alongside with a lot of speed, acceleration, or velocity skill to catch back up to the likes of pace chasing and front runners. But seems like Marcinho's trainer has decided to choose another medium track, being Wildcard Tree. Is it?
Yeah.
But yeah. You're going into
a bit of a game bug here.
Yeah.
The race might not be loading. We might have to.
Yeah, unfortunately, the race is for some reason bugged out. We cannot see what the horses are feeling right now and what distances they are towards next to each other.
Yeah, sometimes the game gets stuck in the lobby like that. So
Yep.
you just have to reboot it. Like my actual game does crash once in a while, like when I try to launch it. So
Oh
like,
man.
it does happen once in a while, but when you launch it again, it just works again for some reason. But yeah, well, software development is hard.
Yeah, we just have to wait if the race is able to be showed while we wait for the streamer to finish the Uma Musume run that they're doing with vodka.
Yeah, so Crimsonate what can I say about this race? It's fairly hybrid in terms of toughness versus dirtiness. So perhaps it's going to be going towards Toxic Sand, but it is also a fairly stamina heavy track with lots of uphills and downhills. So might catch either of the horses off guard.
Yeah, unless Marcinho, especially Marcinho, since he has the lower stamina stats. Oh, we're back. We're back watching the track. We are already on the second corner into the final straight soon. Oh wow. Okay, that was quick. And
actually, Toxic Scent is ahead of Marcinho for different reasons. It seems Marcinho does get the front runner strategy, but however, Toxic Scent is ahead of them, going from a pace chaser strategy. So that's a really awkward spot in the race where a pace chaser is ahead of a front runner. So like the algorithm is kind of all over the place here.
Yeah, maybe it's because Marcinho doesn't have enough stamina, or Toxic Scent use Fence-It front runner. Oh, Marcinho!
The stamina from Toxic Scent just falling apart.
Marcinho's activating Embody and Mind to finish the race right now. Just the final straight left to go. Marcinho activated both Embody and Mind and Fence-It Pace Chaser on Toxic Scent, making him stutter and going back behind Marcinho. And I think that's just barely enough into the final straight unless Marcinho get debuffed from Toxic Scent, but I don't think that's enough time. What a swing back from Marcinho.
Yeah, we don't see that kind of back and forth between pace chasers and front runners that often. It's just really interesting to see. Like, as you can see, Marcinho just went all in into the front runner strategy. 597 300s here compared to 838. That is the hallmark of front running here.
Yeah, it seems like all the skills he had activated at the very end. Embody and Mind, Fancy Pace Chaser, Sharp Gaze. Damn, everything activated at the end for him.
Oh, Toxic Scent going with Beast. That is a very unconventional track with lots of uphills and downhills.
Yeah, this is the first mile running we will be seeing off the entire track that both horse has raced so far.
Yeah, no, that one might be very interesting because it's a mile race. It's not like a very long distance, but the uphill and downhill is like very, very stamina intensive, but also kind of has a speed requirement, I would say.
Yeah, but we just have to see if both players are gonna adapt with the front running strategy or pace chasing or late surging. We'll have to see. Especially mile running is a little bit different from medium running, you see. It's shorter, but there's a lot more strategy in terms of when are you going to activate your skill compared to medium and long.
Yeah, I feel like both the horses here are going to be opting for pace chaser both, as they did in other races. We're just going to have to see how they handle it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, whoa, it seems like a new rule in the JRA activated as well. For some reason, Marcinho is running behind of Toxic Scent into the opposite direction.
But yeah, some of the skills are actually clockwise or counterclockwise dependent. So Marcinho might be taking advantage of that.
Yeah, it seems like for some reason the JRA has added a new rule where one horse can run the opposite direction. It seems like Marcinho is using his ability of right-handed boost from the skill he has gotten. And
the insane thing is that Marcinho is actually running front runner on this one, but drops a fair amount, gets rushed here, going for 99.8 to 99.6. That's cutting it close compared to Toxic Sense or running late Surger here.
Yeah, but Marcino did find a little bit of the trip up with front running, maybe a late start or whatever, but it's still in the lead of Toxic Scent despite them running in the opposite direction. We do have two cameras panning towards them, showing the differences of the distance, even though it's different direction. By about one length of a lead to Marcinio.
Yeah, still enough stamina to hold on here, but it's looking very shaky on Martin's side. Looking very dangerous, but Toxicen is not out of the woods just yet. Just not quite on the same pace as Marcinio. Oh no, that's a huge trip.
Unlucky, it seems like Marcinio forgot to activate Swing Maestro while Toxic Zen was able to activate it alongside with Professor of Curvature, giving him the length lead of 4.
Yeah, no, that might have been a red skill coming from Toxic Stand here. Maybe just kind of a weird stare towards Marcinio here to make a trip up before the flat.
Yeah, a weird stare across the opposite of the field towards Marcinio to make him trip up. I don't know how Marcinio was able to see that, but oh well, we'll go with it. Onto the final corner, about to enter the final straight.
Yeah, Marcinio is building back speed, however, just trying to catch back up, but I don't think it's going to be quite enough. Doesn't have enough power to overtake Toxic Scent, unfortunately.
Yeah, Toxic Scent is running away, activating Home Stretch Haze at the last straight, as we are gonna see him close out with the length of 7. Pretty big compared to what we have been seeing from before, being neck 2 or 3 lengths. This is the biggest lead we have seen Toxic Scent with so far on the Mao track.
Yeah, honestly, really interesting results here. We can see the accuracy, the stability of the horses here. Toxic Scent did opt for a strategy that allowed them to be very stable throughout the whole race. However, Marcinio, kind of a more risky strategy that netted them 4 misses, or I would say 4 trip ups, and many more rocks on the way.
Yeah, it just seems like the right-handed track skill didn't come in handy against this one. And we're gonna be seeing what Marcinio's trainer will be choosing next.
Okay, so the score indicator is giving 1 too many points to Toxic Scent. It is in fact 3-2 right now for Toxic Scent, and Marcinio is up for the next pick. Right now, they've been going back and forth. The trainers have been very strategic, very on point in picking the best races for their horses.
Yeah, we're going back into the other sprint track. Unfortunately, this is the last sprint track we'll be having across the tracks we will be seeing, as the rest is left with mile, medium, and long races. And not to mention, for some reason, we do have a special track that both horses are needing to race if they get the same points. I have no idea what that kind of track is. It doesn't seem like it's any of the track we've seen. It's longer than a long track? Who knows, man?
This one is like very unique. It's yeah, it's funny that you say that. It's like between a sprint and a mile, but it feels longer than some of the long tracks.
It's longer than some of the longer races. This is a sprint track, by the way.
Yeah. Now I think like the best way to put this is that this sprint track is entirely uphill.
Yeah, it seems like it takes longer for them to finish since it's uphill, but it is, shorter in terms of distance. It's just that hopefully both players have enough speed to finish off and including power to climb up the hill. Marcinho opting out with the front running yet again, and Toxic Sen going with the late surging. Pretty unique on the uphill.
Yeah, honestly, up to Marcinho to not catch any obstacles on the way. Toxic Sen does know how to sustain a very stable race throughout all of the race.
Yeah, but since this is an uphill, let's hope both horses have enough power to climb the hill, especially on the corners. And Marcinho is running further and further with the front running. It seems like he does have enough power stats, about 700 to 800, compared to Toxic Sen's late surging, about 500 power stats. I don't think that's enough to power through the uphills that we're seeing.
Yeah, maybe Toxic Sen does not have enough uphill battling skills here and there. The gap is increasing between the two players as Marcinho is looking very stable in this midway, but look out for the next part, which is going to be the guitar solo, and somehow the guitar solo even adds more uphill and downhillish, even some toughness and dirtiness to the track.
Yeah, but it seems like Mark is able to activate Moxie and recover a little bit of his stamina on an uphill. So seems like he's pulling ahead just by a little bit off a 5 lengther. Even, yes, he's a front runner, so expect the gap to close if he's able to keep on the momentum. Toxic Sen needs to pray that his skill activate if he has enough width stats to activate any of the debuff he can give, or activate Swinging Maestro right now on the last corner.
Yeah, this section did slow Marcinho down, but it did not allow Toxic Sen to even come close to overtaking Marcinho, so it's looking like a dire situation here.
Yeah, onto the final corner. We're almost into the straight. Sooner or later, Toxic Sen is still pretty far behind since he ran as late surger on the uphill, 7 lengths apart compared to Marcinho, who activates Professor of Curvature and Swinging Maestro together. Onto the final straight soon as we go.
Yeah, honestly, there's not much sign of Marcinho just running out of stamina here. It's looking like a very stable race, a full combo, I dare say.
Yeah, onto the final straight we go. Both players is not hit with any of a debuff of the sword. Marcinho is running away with the front runner strategy on the uphill on the sprint track. Ooh!
Oh no!
Getting debuff at the end from Toxic Sen, but I don't think that's enough time. The width wasn't enough on Toxic Sen's side to activate it earlier and give him a bigger debuff.
Yeah, it seems that Marcinho just had just enough stamina to complete the race, but their front-running strategy, just getting enough distance against Toxic Sen, did pay off. Just just shy of 5,000 points of distance here is going to be netting the 3rd point for Marcinho. We do want to note that this is 3-3, not 4-3 between the two players.
Yep, but that's almost all it for the sprint tracks. We have one more left, and we're going in the protect that Toxic Sen did, which is long distance 4.
Oh, this one
is
really, really special. I don't think Marcinho trained for this at all.
I don't think he has enough stamina.
Yeah, I think we're gonna start to see the damage here.
Don't think that's enough stamina stats on Marcinho's side. I don't know if he's gonna run with front runner or not. It's a risky move. The best he can do is pace chasing, honestly.
Yeah, either that or even run late surge here, because the stamina is definitely not on Marcinho's side here.
Yeah. But we just have to see if he's able to activate enough stamina recovery skill to balance out his 600 stamina compared to Toxic Sense 800 plus stamina on this turfy track.
Yeah, absolutely. Like Marcinho will have to resort to guts here.
Starting off, and yeah, already getting a late start from Marcinho. Toxic Sen. Wait, it seems like Toxic Sen has changed his running aptitude into front running.
Yeah, this is Toxic Sense home turf right now, but Marcinho actually not far behind, actually overtaking it just a slight bit here. Actually daring to run against Toxic Sen on the same pace.
Yeah, it seems like despite the rushed start he got earlier, in terms of the late start, ooh, unfortunately he got debuffed straight away from Toxic Sense sharp gaze.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. If you are risk taking here, if you are running at a heightened pace on a race that you're not familiar with, you're gonna get shot. Like it's like a Haura front runner trying to outrun everyone and just not getting enough stamina.
Yeah, like you said, it seems like Marciano doesn't have the correct turf aptitude for this, since this is on the turf side instead of dirt. Seems like he's finding more of a trip up. Firstly, the late start, the sharp gaze from Toxic Sand alongside with Frenzied front runner. And now that he doesn't have the aptitude, he's just getting left further and further behind from Toxic Sen, having 6 lengths ahead of him now.
Yeah, that's the thing when you're fighting against when you're fighting against Toxic Sand who has like maybe an A or an S on long, Marcinov with a C or so is not necessarily gonna get through it intact. But however, it is without mentioning that Toxic Sand does have limited stamina, maybe impacted by their mood.
Yeah, it seems like Marcin was able to apply some debuff to Toxic Sand, but he got rushed. Unfortunately, both players is on the final straight. Both of them wasn't able to activate Professor Nosway in my show, but will the end be the judgment whether they can activate Homestretch Haste or not? And it seems like Toxic Sand did!
Both of the players are running on limited stamina right now, and they are fighting through the end. They're gonna be slogging through the end, just fighting to get that point, and Toxic Sand is gonna come out on top of it. As you can see, very similar paces. Somehow Marcinho opted to go the exact same pace as Toxic Sand here. Look at the ratio; they're so similar between one another.
Yeah, but due to getting applied too many debuff and having a limited stamina, Toxic Sand was able to run away by a length of 8, almost a distance, by the way. So that's really scary when you run long aptitude race against Toxic Sand. Ooh, now that the one of the other long track has been ran, let's see what Marcinio's trainer would think. And yeah, through the final sprint track.
Ooh.
There goes the final sprint track, baby.
That is the most interesting one by far, because we're gonna see how unfamiliar. Like we saw how Marcinio did on unfamiliar grounds here on Density 4 on Tinnitus. We're gonna see Toxic Sand on very unfamiliar grounds here.
Yeah, specifically, if I'm not wrong, this is the dirtiest track of them all. And from what we see on Marcinio, he has S aptitude on dirt. So we have to see if Toxic Sand is able to handle it against Mark on the dirtiest track of them all. Ama Ama Totetsu by Danny PX. He actually made the track very dirty. I don't know why he did that, but maybe it's because he liked dirt a lot, you know? Maybe that's why.
Yeah, we get some very important community members contributing to the tracks. Like the tracks are not getting built by themselves. They have very hard-working community members behind them.
Mm-hmm. Correct. Not everything is perfect, you see, but just going into the last sprint track of the day, the dirtiest track of them all, sprint 1. Marcinho opting with the front running. Ooh, Toxic Sand is already getting the late start by a lot compared to Marcinho, who's activating Sunny Day on this track. Unfamiliar grounds from Toxic Sand, as I think he's opting out with late Sergio, but due to the rushed start at the beginning with late start, he's giving the gap towards Marcinho by about 2 to 3 lengths as we enter the first corner. This is the sprint track after all.
Yeah, Marcinho does have like some very particular skills that net them the early start here compared to Toxic Sand. So very strategically placed here. Like this is perhaps the only track where those skills are gonna apply.
Yeah, he's activating Nakayama Prefecture. It seems like this was made in Nakayama somehow, even though it was made at home. Even though it was made all the way at home in the Netherlands. But he's activating Nakayama Prefecture.
Netherlands Prefecture.
Yeah, you know what? Netherlands Prefecture. That makes sense.
It's the Netherlands buff. Marcinho just not quite looking invulnerable to speed drops here.
But still, we are going into the final straight already. This is the fastest sprint track of them all, and also the Omega Dirty track. Toxic Sand doesn't have the correct aptitude for this kind of track, while Marcinho does. As we enter the final straight, the length distance is about 7. Going into the final straight, both players activating homestretch haze, but will it be enough for Marcinho? Will he not get debuff? And it seems like it's the case. He's running away with it.
Yeah, very clean, very clean.
Finishing it off with an insane ratio and 200 count on the track.
Yeah, it just came down to pace in the end, like the 200s. So Toxic Sand opting for late Sergio versus Marcinho's front running strategy. Toxic Sand did not proc anything on this track. Like this
no
track
skill was activated. No
skill.
No swinging Maestro, no Professor of Curvature, but due to Mark activating Netherlands Prefecture, he was able to finish it off with front running.
Yeah, like this track in particular kind of cancels out. Like it finds a way to cancel your skills out and just not activate anything and just slows you down to a crawl.
Yeah, for some reason on that specific track, even if your width is 600, it goes to 0. Pretty weird, you know? I think that's the track debuff specifically for Sprint 1. But now we have to see what the trainers are thinking of that is available left. We have mile running 1, we have medium 2, and long 1 and long 3 left.
They're gonna be in a bit of a pickle here because
boy.
all of the remaining tracks are not quite good apparently for the horses. Like we are running out of comfortable picks here.
Yeah, but it seems like Toxic Sand's trainer has no choice, opting out with the first long track, which is End Road by Begin on the South Korea side this time around, Seoul Prefecture. let's see what both horses can deal with this track, shall we? Toxic Sen has been, well known to able to held out on longer tracks compared to LeMarcinho. So we just have to see if LeMarcinho has the correct or enough stamina recovery skill to hold his own.
It's going to be quite interesting to see the battle on the last few races here. As we are indeed working again to fix the game.
Yeah, it seems like for some reason our trainer has been focusing too much on Uma Musume and messing up a 1% training on Seiyon Sky with 3 friendship training on speed, losing out on 88 speed stats. there goes the triple spark, 3-star spark on speed. Well, we just have to see if it gets fixed fast enough for us to see the first long track out of the 4 that was available, to see if both of the horses can run properly. And here we go.
Oh, let's go. LeMarcinho is actually front running this one. Wow, what a stellar result on the long distance. That is quite surprising. Maybe this long distance is quite short enough for LeMarcinho to kind of take advantage of that.
Yeah, both players seems to be able to activate Professor of Curvature and Swinging Maestro, unlike the one from before, into the final straight. But will they have enough of guts to finish the race? It's very close. It's neck and neck.
Yeah, it's quite an intimidating situation for Toxic Sen here. If they're not able to upset LeMarcinho on this type of track, then it might be the end of the line here. Right now, the last pick before the tiebreaker. Yes, we have tiebreakers in Musume. The last one, the last pick before the tiebreaker is going to belong to LeMarcinho.
Yep. For some reason, JRA added multiple new rules to this specific graded race. We have tiebreaker, and shockingly, it's not a sprint, mile, medium, or long track. It has its own different category. For some reason, it's called the mix and match track. So, well, I don't know what that means. Maybe it's some section you have to run long, you have to change to sprint. I have no idea what JRA was on when they were making this track.
Yeah, it almost feels like LeMarcinho kind of learned long distance on the spot in this match in particular. Just kind of improved their mood enough to tackle those tracks somehow and got the 5th point.
Yeah, I think LeMarcinho was able to learn long corners on that map earlier somehow. Learn it in the middle of running, and we're going right next into the next long running distance track, being Density Tree, also known as Long Tree.
Wait.
Karakiri Catch Ball by you.
LeMarcinho is picking is taking the long distance. Maybe LeMarcinho is feeling really confident, maybe wants to go to the tiebreaker.
I think no. I think it's because he learned long corners now that he's feeling really confident that he chose the long tracks. Wait,
Toxic Sen cannot run this track. That's
maybe. Wait, does it not have the correct aptitude for him, even though it's long?
That's a little strange.
No. That's weird, but we just have to see what their trainer's going with. I think it's not enough. I think Toxic Sen's mood is currently awful. He's not believing in himself. So the trainer needs to do recreation after this. He doesn't have enough guts to believe he can finish the track properly,
Yeah, Yeah, confidence is something that you want to have if you want to complete this. Like especially towards the last few races, it's definitely pivotal to get good results here. And remember that stamina strain does carry on to each race.
Yeah, now that both of the horses has ran about 9 tracks now, this is their 10th tracks if I'm not wrong, which is, damn, that's a lot of distances that they have to run. And
Yeah, I remember,
this is very stamina draining as well. It's a long track, you know, Paturaj?
Yeah, like I mean, the thing is, most horses don't run 3 races in a row because like they get race fatigue and they get like debuffs and so on. We're running on the 10th track in a row so far, but Marcinho still running front runner. He just cannot stop front running.
They're doing the forbidden Haru Urara technique, man. This should not be possible. You should not be able to run more than 9 races in one singular setting. You're not supposed to run 3 races in a row, even on those 3 days. Yet these 2 horses is running 9 races on the same day, back to back, surpassing that of the torturous Haru Urara forbidden technique that I will not say, because no one should do that to our precious daughter. No one should do that. If you do that, you're banned from playing Uma Musume.
You know what? Like, Marcinho might have gotten an inspiration on Long, and that's how they're running this right now.
Perhaps. It seems like he's running comfortably with front running, activating Swing Maestro and Professor of Curvature on the first half. Toxic Sen is running late Sergio, praying that his width is high enough to activate Frenzied Frontrunner and sharp gaze right at Marcinho for him to get rushed.
Yeah, I don't think like Toxic Sense inspiration was as advantageous as Marcinho's, because like Marcinho's inspiration procs are really netting him the win right now, as we are halfway through the track and nothing is really changing in the situation right now. The gap, the distance is like still the same.
Yeah, but since this is a long race, both of the horses' stamina really needs to come in play. Are they gonna be able to go and finish the second corner without any issue and go into the final straight sooner or later? We'll just have to slowly see. Toxic Sen still on that late surge. Marcinho does find a little bit of a speed tempo down.
Yeah, we're coming to the last quarter. Maybe the last skill procs are gonna matter in the end.
Yeah, Marcinho finding a little bit more of a trip up, but we are entering the final straight here. Can Toxic Sen activate the debuff fast enough against Marcinho for him to mess up, passing him in terms of the race in the final straight where it matters the most? It's always the final straight that's important. But wait, is Marcinho activating angling and scheming? No way, at this late of the race?
Yeah, that is very devious, and that's keeping Toxic Sense at bay. Like, the distance has only shrunk a little bit between the 2 horses. Marcinho at 65 instead of 70 before.
Yeah, but
not looking even very likely.
Yeah, but it seems like Marcinho has enough stamina to finish this track properly without any slip up, and will be winning the URA Noodle Cup 4th edition semifinals against Toxic Sand.
Congratulations to Marcinho for winning that. We'll have to do the horse evaluation after the career is over, but I do believe that Marcinho does deserve an A or an A+.
Yeah, maybe a high A+, judging from the books, but it seems like both of the horse actually still wants to run, despite running 10 tracks already? What?
Is there a bonus race? A credits race? What is that? I've never seen that in Musume before.
This is not any of the tracks I've known. This is not a sprint, mile, medium, or long. What is this?
What is this? Is this a tiebreaker?
Is this the JRA tiebreaker that we've heard
JRA
multiple times about?
The JRA tiebreaker, that's so messed up.
Hey, listen, it's not me. It was JRA's rules changing, you know? I don't know why they changed this race rule so much.
Wow, I can't believe they get so much stuff in JP compared to EN. Like, JP
Yeah,
is
man.
crazy, bro.
Yeah, honestly, JP, you get to see whatever's happening, and I would not understand anything. But yeah, into the tiebreaker we go, and I think that's enough Uma Musume shenanigans.
Let's just return to normalcy, I guess.
Welcome back. Yeah, welcome to the normal commentary of Osamania Long Note Tournament. This is the show match. Well, let's say it was the show match between Toxic Sen versus LeMarcinho on the semifinals map pool. This is the show match. It's not the official tournament match between the players. That's why me and Patawash was messing around with Uma Musume. If we didn't know.
I'll admit it was really fun, like to come up with as many comparisons as we could. Like, I feel like tournaments are very comparable to like horse races, and like especially when you watch like World Cups and so on, you get so many players on the field, and they're each at their own different pace and their own little skill sets and so on. It's very comparable.
Yeah, think of the World Cup similar to how Japan Cup in horse racing in general and Ari Makinen is. That's basically the World Cup. But anyway, that's no more of the horse shenanigan. I think we have enough brain rot from having too much information on Uma Musume or horse racing in general now.
Yeah, that's crazy.
This is what happens if you start playing Uma Musume. You just have so much random horse facts, you know, with the race name and everything. You just know it by heart now. But anyway, jumping back into the proper show match, we will be having the tiebreaker show match of the Iridescent Judgment, composed by none other than Sakuragi, if I'm not wrong, or Sugasugi. Sugasugi, there we go, not Sakuragi. I'm sorry, okay, I'm blind, but yeah, Sugasugi is the composer. Ethereal Winter provided with the vocal of this song itself, mapped by Yuist and multiple other mappers, if I am not wrong.
Yeah, it's basically the I want to say the Chinese crew behind the scenes. I think Highlightle was involved in the Muses as well.
If I'm not wrong, Koyori-chan, also known as Sanae, worked on this as well. So this is basically the Chinese crew of the Long Note Tiebreaker. In my opinion, it's a pretty good map. I've played it, tried to play it. It's pretty good. So if you have the skill cap necessary for it, please do try it out. Especially from the budget we've seen on this tournament, it's been really, really high compared to the other Mania tournaments we have seen up to date. Custom VFX and graphic design on all custom maps that was shown already. If that doesn't say high production value, I don't know what is.
Yeah, honestly, like this song in particular is like really fast-paced, really high production. Yeah. Like it's very enjoyable to listen through and just to watch even.
Yeah, and for some reason Toxic Sen is still FCing. Okay, Marcino is finding a little bit more misses. I mean, to be fair, this is not Marcino's skill set to begin with, and more so of physicality like Toxic Sen. But why are you holding an FC? I don't get it.
Yeah, basically Toxic Senate is the picture of late game MWC player, just can play anything very physical, just doesn't doesn't know where it falls off. Can probably play grand finals pretty decently, but won't get very stellar accuracies. However, Marcinho is like the complete opposite, just gets really good coordination one results and so on.
Yeah, if I have to say, if you put both Toxic Sand and Marcinho, you get Nepogen.
Yeah, something
that's
like that.
that's the best I can put it on, because Nepogen is out of the world. This is what I get apparently from seeing him play Roll Beats.
Incredible.
Yep. Toxic Sand is still FCing. We're almost the end of the map. Please, can you not FC during the show match? No way he's gonna FC, right, Patu?
I guess so.
Can you not? Toxic Sand. Onto the last bit of the map. Are you serious?
And that is a full combo on stream.
Okay.
Yay! 984k. Well, almost 985 FC from Toxic Sand, and that is how strong they are in late game.
Sure, man. Just freaking go all out on a freaking show match for fun. Dude.
Yeah, like that's the thing with Toxic Sand and Marcinho is that they're pretty different in terms of skill sets, but they meet each other in semifinals, and essentially in semifinals, you start to see like Marcinho kind of falling off, and Toxic Sand just kind of start to strive, and that's why like semifinals is so interesting to see between the two players, in particular in this show match. So very interesting match.
In my opinion, semifinals is really tough. If you see the likes of Marcinho, who was in the Mania World Cup team for Brazil, is struggling, and Toxic Sand, well, we just ignore whatever he just did, is struggling. It shows to tell you how tough semifinals is, and we're jumping into the next week already, by the way, since we'll be having a few more matches left on Sunday. Right after that, we will be having a little bit more of a match. I think there's one match tuned for Monday, and on Tuesday is the show match to accommodate that. The map review, sorry.
Yeah, so that's gonna be it for today.
Does our good old streamer have a bracket so we can quickly run through what the next match is? Unless I have the spreadsheet on me, which I don't. Damn.
I do actually, and the next match is gonna be another show match actually between just some guy and Jose. It's gonna be on the semifinals pool as well, but the actual matches are gonna be picking up from 12 UTC onwards. That's gonna be Concave versus Veloz. Very interesting.
Already? On semis? These two guys met up on semis? God.
Concave versus Veloz. On losers brackets.
Loser bracket semifinals. What is this?
It's so cursed, bro. Afterwards, Pavin versus Miyoshi. Very interesting match.
Okay. Basically, what you're telling me is that players that should be in the finals week in winners is now in the loser bracket on semifinals.
Yeah.
Which is scary to think.
That's the way this tournament works, unfortunately.
Yep, too stacked for me to play anyway, but that is it from me, Adam McAville, commentating after 2 weeks of hiatus from commentating this tournament, if I'm not wrong. Signing out, I will not be commentating for Sunday, unfortunately. However, I will be hopefully available, and if the schedule still keeps with the same, on the Monday match.
Yeah, Monday match, Squiddy versus Flowerful. Gonna be closing the losers brackets of the semifinals, going into the finals. Maple Showcase afterwards at 20 UTC on Monday.
Yep, that is it for me signing out. Do you have anything finals to say before we end it off and end the stream?
走れ走れ
Uma musume. Goodbye, everybody.